Welcome to another edition of the Soy Checkoff Check-In. I am your host and the host of AgriTalk, Chip Flory. We are going to be talking about a new source of demand for soybeans and specifically Ohio Lake soybeans. Joining me to do that is Keenan McRoberts. Keenan is the Executive Vice President of Strategy at the United Soybean Board. He was raised on a farm and a ranch there in western Nebraska. Keenan, welcome to the Soy Checkoff Check-In.
Thanks, Chip. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to the discussion today, and it's good to be with you again.
Fantastic. Okay, Keenan, how is the Soy Checkoff working to grow demand for high oleic soybeans in the dairy space?
This high oleic demand for dairy is one of the most exciting new demand opportunities that we've seen in a long time. High oleic as a product was originally developed to serve the food sector.
Right.
Really targeting increased stability, and some of the health claims that come with oleic oils used in frying applications. And over time, we found some additional opportunity on the dairy side, really to increase milk fat in dairy rations. With component pricing on the dairy side, there's an opportunity for increased profit by getting more oleic acid into those diets. So this is a real solution and an opportunity for dairy that the Checkoff has helped create through investments in research over the past 5 years or so. So about a year ago, we put together a high oleic dairy advisory group consisting of consulting nutritionists that influence a large percentage of dairy rations here in the U.S., and they're really guiding USB both on our research and a communication and marketing plan to help sustainably grow this opportunity for both soybean farmers and for the dairy industry over time. So we're excited about where that's at. We're really right on at this point and helping ensure that the industry is prepared for sustained growth in dairy, which is already occurring.
Yeah, what you've done now by turning this meal into a premium product, both the products from the soybean now is on the premium side, premium on the oil side and a premium on the meal side. That seems like a pretty good investment right there, Keenan.
It is, yeah, and it's one of the few opportunities to move the meal and the oil together. You can move the whole bean directly into dairy rations. It's a non-traditional kind of non-commodity value chain that really tightens that connection between soybean farmers and dairy producers. That's pretty cool and very unique. There's not a lot of opportunities or examples like this in commodity systems.
That's right. What other types of projects are currently underway?
So a real key communication element related to the high oleic dairy opportunity, we're getting ready to launch a website and a lot of forward-facing communication materials related to this. The site itself is called the U.S. Soy Center for Animal Nutrition and Health, and there will be a dedicated dairy page oriented mostly toward information, frequently asked questions, research, processing information, and more to help support the dairy industry specifically in how they use and deploy high oleic soybeans. And we'll be going live with a lot of that information within a month or so.
Gotcha, Keenan. All right. What does all this mean for soybean farmers?
For soybean farmers, it's an identity preserved system today. It's non-commodity and it's a non-traditional value chain. We're looking at in 2025, about 850,000 acres in high oleic soybean production. Over half of that is going toward dairy, and this growth has occurred very quickly. As we look toward getting into the millions of acres potentially for a dairy opportunity, there is a price buffering effect on the commodity bean itself. So if you're a farmer and you can't grow high oleic, there's still a reason to care about it. And that's something we're tracking closely and working to help farmers understand over time here. We really see as we get toward global regulatory approval on things like E3 genetics by Plenish, which is the primary product on the high oleic soybean side today, that we could see some fairly rapid growth as we get closer to 2030, specifically to fulfill the dairy demand and the increased profit potential in service of dairies if we do this the right way. So that's what we're really trying to support is that sustained growth to help out farmers that can grow a premium product and also to have a positive impact on those that can't.
Yeah, Keenan, it is so cool to see high oleic reaching its potential, and this is one of the ways that it's happening. Keenan, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely, Chip. Thanks for the time, and don't hesitate to let me know if you got further questions.
Sounds great. That is Keenan McRoberts, Executive Vice President of Strategy at the United Soybean Board. And that wraps up this edition of the Soy Checkoff Check-In. Remember, you can always learn more about what the United Soybean Board is doing to build demand by going to unitedsoybean.org. I'm your host, Chip Flory. Now, let's get back to AgriTalk.